Good morning. I've been out of town the last few days. I went down to my very dear friend's church in Louisiana, and now I'm home. Cooked some breakfast for my familia since I've been gone the last few days, and they've been doing the cold cereal and bagels thing. So now I'm just sitting here looking out over my farm, and I'm telling you what, this view right here just keeps getting sweeter and sweeter. The garden's still got a lot going on in it, and the leaves are starting to change. The goats are out in the woods, and the chickens are clucking around in the yard.
Right?
Do y'all ever have those kinds of days where you feel like you're busy all day long, and at the end of the day you're like, what did I accomplish today? This was one of those days for me. Like, I did all kinds of necessary things that were time consuming, and I didn't feel by the time I got to the end of the day like I had gotten that much done. But here we are, it's evening. Sweet Maya's making dinner, so Benny and I are actually running down to check the chicken coop for eggs. I figured I would bring you guys, we would take a look at the garden. Does that sound good, Benny? You about to lose your drawers, boy. You hiking them up? So we got a lot going on down here in the garden. At least things starting to go on. These pea plants are looking pretty good size. I've got beets coming up, which it's starting, oh, nope. Too many baby plants for right now to be playing with that here. You can play in some of the other garden beds. I'll show you where there are weeds that need to be pulled, okay? So, it's getting cool here. It's not quite freezing yet, but that won't bother these things. These things that are already coming up, these are beets. I've got little carrots coming up all in this bed, little baby beets. And they're gonna continue to grow slowly throughout the season. You're so silly. And remember, we don't get super cold here, so a lot of stuff is fine throughout the winter with minimal covering. And we have not built covers over these beds yet, and I don't know that we will. We had intended to, but then Jeremiah had to have surgery on his hand, and sometimes you just gotta roll with the punches. All right, dude, all this is weeds. You can go to town with that Haas tool here in this bed, rip it up. That's actually a tomato plant, but you can go ahead and tear things up. One thing that I've had to learn, I think this is a valuable lesson that I have learned in homesteading, is I think that setting the goal towards doing as much as you can is really good. And really, I mean, like, always trying to do more, grow more is valuable. But there are times in life, like Jeremiah having to have surgery on his hand, there are times in life that I have to just say, you know, I'm really thankful that this isn't the Oregon Trail and nobody's gonna get dysentery and die. You know, nobody's gonna die because I can't produce enough in the garden this year. So we're gonna do the best we can, but I'm just decided not to stress about it. We do have quite a lot going on. We've got a lot of kale in different stages. As you can see, all of this dino kale is really starting to look good. Over here I've got a lot of little kale coming up. I need to weed this, but that's gonna grow. That's gonna produce a lot, and it's all through this bed. I've got some other types of kale that are a little bigger. We'll start harvesting those before too long. Is there a chicken in my garden? Come look over here, Benny. Aren't these beds beautiful? Look at these beautiful zinnias. It hasn't gotten cool enough to kill these yet. So lovely. I do have a couple of squashes in here. Here, actually, you want to hold my basket?
This is my basket.
Yeah, I know. Here. Did I call it my basket? I'm sorry.
It can be mine and yours.
Oh, it can be mine and yours. You're going to share it with me? Thank you.
Since I love you so much, I can share stuff with you.
Since you love me so much, well, I love you too.
That's why.
Oh goodness, we got a big one. This is what happens when Mama goes out of town. I don't think this is gonna fit in your basket, buddy.
You should go get your basket.
I'll just carry it. Come on, let's go check for some eggs.
Eggplants?
No, eggs in the coop.
Oh.
It is misty and wet outside. So fallish. There are still these little remainders of the summertime. Like, look at these teddy bear sunflowers that reseeded. So many weeds in my garden right now. All of these zinnias that reseeded themselves. It's a mess. Benjamin, this garden is a mess. The girly goats have made quick work of cleaning out these woods.
Where are they?
Also, it's not just the girly goats. This is also a matter of it's you know, nearing winter, and so a lot of the stuff's dying back. But the goats have cleared out a lot too. Can I open it? Say, move on, girlies. Here we come.
Come on, Gus. This girl.
They're like, give me that squash. They see the squash in my arms. This is my dinner, not yours. You already had your food today. Oh, it's already getting really dark in here, but I've got quite a few eggs together. Come on, Benny, let's get them. That's a lot of eggs, huh, Benny?
I should crack them.
No, we should not crack them. Do you want to go put the that tool back in the garden?
Fuck! That means no.
All right, let's set these things down here and go check out the greenhouse. Yeah, we're gonna go to the greenhouse.
Hey, birds.
Hey, birds. Here.
Morning.
Look at this pineapple sage. It smells so good. I've actually got some other sage down here, and it ended up getting a little bit choked out, but I want to harvest this to use for Thanksgiving. No, it's not pineapples, it's pineapple sage.
What's
And it's in bloom. It's just an herb.
What is this?
All right, let's go in here and check out our soil bags and see if they've had any growth. Oh, yes, they have.
Ooh.
Looky there. Happy birthday, tiny little sprouts. Look at them, Ben.
Hello.
Say, grow, baby, grow.
Go, baby, go.
Look at this.
I've
Got
been
lots of sprouts.
looking for this.
You don't need that. And put that back down.
I want that one to be mine.
You're such a boy. Look at all the baby sprouts. I see lots of salad in our future. So I shared the other day about making little soil bag gardens and growing salad greens, which this is something I'm doing in my greenhouse over this winter. And I actually think I'm gonna go buy some more bags of soil and grow some beets and radishes in them. Because I had several people ask me, do you think that that would actually be possible? And I really do. I have that stuff growing out in the beds of the garden, but I figured I would go ahead and do some soil bags just to show that it's possible, so that later when people come across that content, they'll know that it's an option for them. Plus, it'll give me more beets and radishes to eat, and I am always happy for that. It's getting really dark out here. So somebody asked the other day, actually on our live stream, like, what will we do for content now that the garden is dying? And honestly, like, what we did last winter was very much the same. I'm gonna share with you guys our winter and what it looks like. A lot of that is preparing for the next gardening year, growing some things like in this greenhouse, or, you know, a little bit of the winter garden. But you know, it's just gonna be our family. I was thinking about kind of sharing some of the way that we do things for the holidays, and the cooking and preserving that I'm gonna be doing in the kitchen, all of that stuff. It'll be on our channel. Just what we're doing is what I'm gonna be sharing with you. If there's anything that you would like to see us do or try, we're always open to suggestions. We love when you guys say, hey, maybe you could teach us about this. And sometimes you ask us about things that we don't know how to do, and so we don't make that content. But sometimes you'll strike up something that we're like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. So we're always open to those kind of comments. If you want to share them, you can throw them down in the comment section below. Really, the thing with homesteading is, and gardening, growing food, is that the summer is very much like the high production time. The spring is whenever there's a lot of work getting done and a lot of people are focusing on it. But I really want to be of the mind that, you know, I tell you guys all the time to turn your waiting room into a classroom. And for me, like the winter, whenever there's not so much demand out here, that is the time that I really like make my classroom time. That's whenever I'm like learning new skills, whenever I'm practicing things, and really focusing more on growing myself. And just like with everything else, I look forward to sharing that with you guys. So thank you for hanging out with me today. I know this was short but sweet. Sometimes I feel like I don't really have very much to share, but I'm always happy to try. But I bless you guys. Until next time.